Perfect.
Yes, perfect.
Great. Good morning. This morning, I'd like to draw inspiration from a great Swede. You probably all are familiar with him and this particular book that he wrote just before he passed away, Hans Rosling, and the book called Factfulness. And this term, factfulness, is described as the stress-reducing habit of carrying opinions for which you have strong supporting facts. And I believe that we can draw some parallels between this concept of factfulness and the purpose of BuildingSMART International. So the purpose of BuildingSMART International is described as creating open and reliable digital standards and services that enhance automation and decision-making in the built asset industry to enable the exchange of trusted information across the built environment. And while the carrying of opinions is up to the humans that work with it, at least I believe that BuildingSMART International tried to contribute to the factfulness of the built asset industry. BuildingSMART International can probably best be described as a large international community consisting of a head office, a non-profit organization of which I'm part, and a global community of chapters. You can see these chapters as sort of franchisees of BuildingSMART International, such as BuildingSMART Sweden. We organize summits twice a year, large international summits. You will hear a little bit more about the latest one later on. There's a large ecosystem of different types of members that contribute to the development of standards and services, as well as sponsors for strategic projects that we have, and partners that we work with, such as different standardization bodies that have something to do with the built asset industry. And BuildingSMART develops the standards and services within different programs. We have a user program that is really up to date with the latest user needs and receives the feedback from the users. Then we have this process to develop consensus, or to build consensus and derive at new standards and solutions. And the part that I'm responsible for is compliance, and compliance basically tries to implement and make sure that of correct adoption and use of these open standards and solutions that BuildingSMART develops. We currently have 34 national chapters. So as you can see, we're strongly represented in Europe, but there's more chapters coming in Asia. We have a USA and a Canada chapter, and we recently opened our new chapter, our first chapter in South America, Brazil, and in Africa, Morocco. And everything we do is about developing standards and services that support the core open BIM workflow, as we call it. And you might be familiar with some of the logos and standards I'm going to show you. It starts with defining your business needs, and at our use case management service, you can find many examples of use cases, and you can also contribute to uploading use cases. Requiring your information requirements. Yesterday, I believe, a new standard was officially approved for that, called IDS, Information Delivery Specification, as well as the BSDD. BSDD is a data dictionary, or a series of data dictionaries that you can use to reference, for example, national standards. And enrich a BIM data set with these. Then the production of a data set. The most well-known standard of buildingSMART is obviously IFC, the industry foundation classes that are used for this. And these IFC files that are being produced can be checked for correctness by our validation service. And then the final steps are about sharing and collaborating with these different files. And for that, we have developed BCF, so the BIM collaboration format, as a standard, as well as, and I just cannot see the last, APIs for to support OpenCDE. So professional certification exists to address the knowledge and the skills gap within the built asset industry. And with buildingSMART International, we aim to provide open and neutral education that enables users to benefit from the tools, the standards, and the services that are essential for the industry's digitalization. And the certification that is attached to that should lead to better project outcomes and improved collaboration, and it can serve as a proof of knowledge, and that helps in career advancement. The program, so this educational program of buildingSMART, has been around since 2018, with over 20,000 certificates awarded to professionals in the built asset industry in more than 25 countries, supported by over 190 training providers. The program consists of 4 different curricula courses, and each supporting at different stages of career advancement or on the career path of individuals. And you could see that them as points along a road, a professional journey, a career path. And buildingSMART International provides educational material at each of these points that are tailored to where you are and where you want to go in your career. And we could split this road up into 3 different stages or levels, if you like. And at the beginning, we find the entry level training and exam. And this training and exam are available for free online. It's accessible for everyone. It's a knowledge-based learning, self-paced. If you do everything in one go, it should take you up to 30 minutes of learning, after which you can take an online exam with 10 questions. And if you have sufficient correct answers in this exam, you get this digital badge that you can share. And as I said, it's now available, so please give it a try. The learning content provides an introduction to the built asset industry. It defines what we mean with information management, and it gives an introduction to open standards and services. It's pretty simple and straightforward, and you can, as I said, access it through this link. Not immediately, but feel free to explore it after this breakfast session. The next level is called Foundation, and this is a official qualification of buildingSMART International, and it's ideal for, I would say, all professionals or aspiring professionals, students in the built asset industry. It's also a knowledge-based learning, and this is provided, it can only be done through a registered training provider of buildingSMART International. After following the training, the students can undertake an online exam, and again, if they pass this exam, they get this badge, this digital badge, plus an official certificate. and they will be registered or listed on our online registry of qualified individuals. And this course is available in English language, not yet in Swedish, but I'm sure you all speak English very well, and you can find or you can select a training provider that delivers this training online in English on our website. I will show you later where you can find that. So here you can see the learning outcomes of the foundation course. And as you can see, it focuses a lot on the concepts of ISO 19650 and the benefits that collaborating in an open BIM environment provides. Chapters that implement foundation have the option to also add relevant national content to the learning outcomes. So that's also a possibility for Sweden. In case it will be adopted officially in Sweden, then the learning content can be enriched by relevant national standards and things you need to know about collaboration in an open BIM environment. So this foundation level is really important because it provides the basic knowledge that you need to know about open BIM, but also because it is a prerequisite for more advanced higher levels of training and certification that may interest you. And this is the third level on the road that consists of two different trajectories: management and practitioner. So first, management training provides strategic and operational insights for managers of digitally empowered projects, for example, management of departments that work on digital projects, or project managers. And this doesn't go too much into the technical detail. That happens in the parallel track, practitioner, which is really aiming to enhance open BIM expertise at an operational level. So this is really for BIM delivery professionals, and it's a really hands-on training where you enrich your skills, your open BIM skills. This course is already available in some countries where we're running pilot projects for practitioner, and we're currently finalizing the content that is internationally applicable and will be implemented globally later this year. And we hope that many people from Sweden will participate in this course as well. Basically, the practitioner course wants to make you very familiar and comfortable with applying the concepts of this open BIM workflow that I showed you at the beginning of this presentation. So, for example, as part of the second learning outcome module, requirements definition, students will learn how to create an IDS using a specific information requirements. Or as part of the third learning outcome module, open BIM data production, you will learn how to enrich a BIM data set by referencing a BSDD, so the buildingSMART data dictionary definitions. And I can tell you that the apples that grow on the tree that you see next to the little house on the screen will have something to do with this. You see here a picture of a data set that buildingSMART provides to the training providers that they can use in the training with specific exercises that we have predefined to really get comfortable with these concepts. And we learn this, we use these data sets also for examination purposes. And as you can see, we really make it in such a way that it applies to all the different disciplines that you have in the built asset industry, and both to the vertical and the horizontal construction industry. So yeah, I hope this gets you interested in participating in this course later on. So the buildingSMART determines the learning content of our educational programs, and it's based on the latest technological developments that are going on and the input that we get from our global community. But the actual training is delivered by a very wide portfolio that we have of international training providers. And as you can see, that ranges from educational institutes, schools, and universities to companies, organizations that become a training provider in order to train their own staff. And we invite every one of you who is interested in becoming a training provider to apply for this. You can apply in order to deliver training in English language directly through buildingSMART International to become recognized as a program sponsor and deliver training globally. But if you're interested in providing training in Sweden in English language, you can also pick any of the chapters of buildingSMART International that provide training in English and register with them in order to be able to do so in Sweden. Or you may want to join this growing group of industry professionals that have obtained a certificate. So to summarize my story, what can you do to become involved in professional certification? You can enroll for the entry training and exam freely available online. You can apply to do the foundation training and examination through any of the registered training providers, or you can pursue the higher levels, management and practitioner for more advanced operational and strategic insights into Open BIM. Or you can apply to become a registered training provider for professional certification directly through buildingSMART International, or by applying through any of the chapters of buildingSMART International that have implemented a professional certification. Or 5, you can join our international community of buildingSMART International to contribute to our strategy and help with increased adoption of Open BIM through contributing to the professional certification program and the learning content that we're developing. So for more information about our program, the different courses, an overview of the training providers, and all the other ways to get involved, please visit education.buildingsmart.org. And to conclude this presentation, I'd like to go back to Hans Roesling and a tool that he kind of created a long time ago, which is called Gapminder, and it is a way to display statistics in an interactive way. So for example, this is a statistic where lifespan and income are projected, and these little bubbles that you see on the screen, they display countries. And what you don't see in my presentation, but in his presentation, these bubbles are moving along with the time. And what he showed by displaying the data in such a way is that, for example, our perceptions about the development of certain countries and the speed of their development is completely off, or is completely wrong. And by really showing and investigating the data, you can improve your opinions on this. And I believe that a similar theory can be applied to the adoption of Open BIM. And what I mean with that is, for example, in our community, the Nordic chapters, the Nordic region, is considered the most advanced in Open BIM adoption. And one of the reasons maybe for this perception is that they have been involved with BuildingSMART International for a very, very long time and have an established chapter. For example, BuildingSMART Sweden, and before there was the Nordic chapter, BuildingSMART International. But then last week, I went to Brazil, and Brazil is one of the youngest chapters of BuildingSMART International. They have been around for less than a year. And I attended a conference with my colleagues, and that was a very big conference with more than 1,500 people participating. And we were really astonished by the advanced level of Open BIM adoption of this community. And afterwards, we thought, okay, Brazil is probably the most advanced community within the international world. But then, of course, this Brazil is a huge country, and this chapter was, this conference was attended by lots of people. But obviously, this was the representation of the most advanced BIM users or Open BIM users in their country. So basically, my perception was based on a really small portion of this whole country. And there, as I said, it's a huge country, so there might be a very big market for the lower levels, entry and foundation of professional certification in Brazil. And the same thing might apply to Sweden as well, but I just don't have the data to support this. So I want to invite you all to help explore the opportunities for continuous learning and reducing stress and increasing factfulness in the built asset industry. And we at BuildingSMART International are very happy if we can support you with this. So I thank you for your attention.
Well, thank you, Céline, for a very interesting